welcome to Cultural Apologists React for today, September 2nd, 2024. This is an AI-generated podcast and can make mistakes. Use it for generating possible ideas, but don't rely on it as an authoritative guide to the day's news or to the details of cultural apologetics. Story: German far-right party AfD wins big in state elections. Germany's far-right Alternative for Deutschland, AfD, party made historic gains in state elections in the eastern states of Thuringia and Saxony, with 32.8% and 30.6% of the vote, respectively. The party's co-leader, Alice Weidel, called it a requiem for the current coalition government in Berlin. The AfD's success was matched by the new populist force on the left, the Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, BSW, which won 11.8% and 15.8% of the vote in Saxony and Thuringia, respectively. Many Eastern voters expressed disillusionment with mainstream politics, citing lingering economic and social issues since reunification. The AfD's anti-migration and anti-Islam rhetoric resonated with some voters, while others saw it as too radical. Coalition building in both states is expected to be tricky, with the BSW potentially playing a key role. So how might we think about this story from the standpoint of cultural apologetics? The recent electoral gains of the far-right Alternative for Deutschland, AfD, party in Germany's eastern states of Thuringia and Saxony have sent shockwaves throughout the country, with many pundits and commentators quick to sound the alarm about the rise of right-wing populism. However, as Herman Bavinck notes in his magnum opus, Reformed Dogmatics, true understanding can only be achieved by looking beyond the surface level of events, and instead seeking to comprehend the underlying spiritual and philosophical currents that shape human culture. Bavinck, Reformed Dogmatics. In this light, I argue that the AfD's success in Eastern Germany represents not just a reaction against mainstream politics, but rather a symptom of a deeper crisis of meaning and identity in modern Western society. As Bavinck observes in The Philosophy of Revelation, modernity is characterized by a fundamental disconnect between the individual's inner life and the external world. Bavinck, The Philosophy of Revelation. This chasm has led to a sense of disorientation and disillusionment among many individuals who feel that the dominant ideologies and institutions of our time are no longer able to provide them with a sense of purpose or belonging. The AfD's anti-migration and anti-Islam rhetoric, while undoubtedly problematic in its own right, can be seen as an attempt to fill this void by offering a simplistic yet compelling narrative about the nature of identity and community. By positing a clear distinction between us and them, the AfD is able to tap into the deep-seated anxieties and fears that many individuals harbor about their place in the world. Bavinck, Reformed Dogmatics. However, as Bavinck notes in Our Reasonable Faith, true wisdom can only be achieved by embracing a more nuanced and multifaceted understanding of reality. Bavinck, Our Reasonable Faith. The AfD's black and white worldview, with its neat dichotomies between good and evil, friend and foe, is ultimately a form of idolatry that neglects the complexity and richness of human experience. In contrast, the Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, BSW, which gained significant support in both Saxony and Thuringia, represents a more promising attempt to address the underlying issues driving the AfD's success. By emphasizing the need for greater social and economic equality, as well as a more sustainable relationship between humanity and the natural world, the BSW is able to offer a more holistic and inclusive vision of what it means to be human. Bavinck, The Philosophy of Revelation. Ultimately, the story of the AfD's rise in Eastern Germany serves as a reminder that true wisdom can only be achieved by embracing a more nuanced and multifaceted understanding of reality. As Bavinck notes in Reformed Dogmatics, the Christian faith is not just a set of abstract dogmas or moral precepts, but rather a living and breathing way of life that seeks to embody the love and wisdom of God in all aspects of human existence. Bavinck, Reformed Dogmatics. By embracing this more expansive and inclusive vision of reality, we may be able to find our way out of the darkness of right-wing populism and into a brighter future for all. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Cultural Apologists React. Be sure to come back tomorrow for a new take on the day's news from the standpoint of Christian cultural apologetics.